In the war, they flew Spitfires, one of the few remaining squadrons to hold battle honours for their bravery in the Battle of Britain. But during its 100-year history, 72 Squadron has transitioned through many aircraft, from the Gloucester Gladiator to the Vampire and the Meteor. In Northern Ireland, they took to helicopters, and finally they found themselves climbing aboard the small training aircraft, the Tucano.
Cheese.
Now, the 2017 pilots of 72 Squadron prepare to take today's Tucanos to the skies to celebrate their 100th birthday. Their ambitious route covers 1,200 miles and involves no fewer than 30 flybys. Starting in Cornwall and ending in Northern Ireland, it will take them past almost every one of their old bases. And they've agreed to take me with them.
Go for a start.
I thought it was important because the history of the Air Force is still relatively new compared to the Army and the Navy, only 100 years, but we've achieved a lot in that 100 years. Getting on to 72 and then finding out about its history really sort of struck a chord with me. In the aviation world, it's ticked off nearly all the different elements of flight, bar probably being a bomber squadron. So it's done quite a lot in the 100 years it's been around.
The Grand Flypast, as it's become known, has created such excitement on social media they had to alter their route to encompass the Mac Loop in Wales, where the Welsh spotters complained they'd been left out.
So the plan is to fly over each of 72 Squadron's old bases, but there's another element to this Flypast. They've also tracked down every one of the veterans who served for the squadron during the Second World War. They've got in touch with them, and hopefully they'll be down on the ground watching. They've routed the whole Flypast so that each one of them gets basically a private flyby. We're about to go over one now, is that right, Chris?
That's right, yes. So we're going to fly by for Cyril Nugent. So he was ground crew with the squadron in the Second World War, end of the Second World War. And he's now in a care home, but luckily the care home is located in a location that we can conduct the Flypast over. So we contacted the care home and they got in touch with Cyril. He was quite excited about it. So, and in fact, most of the other residents were as well. So apparently we're aiming for the car park, and they've dragged all the OAPs out to the car park. So hopefully it's quite a warm day for them.
Wow.
There's a view that was quite common.
It was all going so well. Then, just as we approached Duxford to end the second leg, this happened.
Swift 1 flight 29882, go. Swift 3 and 4.
The Grand Flypast was diverted to land an hour and a half away, to the frustration of the whole crew.
Swift 1 flight over touchdown.
Unfortunately, the British summer may have beaten us, so we were just trying to get into Duxford, but unfortunately we couldn't get past Cambridge. There was a big thunderstorm in the way, and this is what we're sort of stood in now. So we've ended up at Marham, and we're just trying to come up with a plan about how we might be able to continue the route.
After much deliberation, the decision was made to terminate the flyby and recover the quadrant back to Linton-on-Ouse.
The first half was absolutely wonderful. We were just bitterly disappointed that we couldn't finish it by getting to Duxford, and even more disappointed that we couldn't then continue legs 3 and legs 4.
Mainly disappointed for the veterans, so there were 2 more that we didn't get to fly past, one Dickie Bird at Leicester and Darryl Briggs at Syston. So hopefully we'll be able to regenerate that plan on another date.
When we get to some of these places we've been to today, and you're not sure if there'll be many people there, and then you see actually quite a large crowd, and you realise how many people support the squadron, which is really important to us. But also it's sort of, you're really lucky to be there, really lucky to be out the front of the formation, and it's just a huge privilege.
I find it very humbling that they're interested to see us, because it is definitely the other way around. We're interested to see them, and we're just really proud to be able to represent 72 Squadron, represent something that they've been a part of, and be able to fly over them.
Despite the disappointment, the squadron have started something special, and part 2 is still to come. Hannah King, Forces News, now back in Linton-on-Ouse.